Hey guys, this is Sig Hannibal here, aka known as Empire Shah. I have my co-host once again, Q Joe, with me, and
What we do?
today is a very special review. We are talking about Ant-Man 3 Quantumania, and this starts off. Is this Phase 5 or 6? Q Joe.
Five. Five.
This starts off Phase 5. This is the first Marvel movie of the year, the first MCU movie,
Mm-hmm.
and we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about what it means, and uh, it's gotten a very bad score on Rotten Tomatoes.
We're gonna talk about that too.
You're
But
going to talk about that
yeah,
too.
yeah.
Critically acclaimed. So first off, for those of you who may not be Marvel prone or Marvel savvy like we are. Uh Ant-Man 3 is about Scott Lang, who is the titular Ant-Man. And this time he has found himself and everyone else around him because this is Ant. You know what? We call this thing Ant-Man 3, but yet it's Ant-Man and the Wasp.
It is Ant-Man and the Wasp 3. This is literally what it is.
Yes.
Can't forget
However,
the Wasp.
yeah, however, the Wasp is not really important in this movie. she does she does a couple of things, but for the most
She,
part,
she's
this
a part of
is
she's a part of the Ant-Man team.
she's a
Yeah.
part of the team, but this is definitely not equal parts. This is Scott Lang's
No,
movie.
nah, like definitely the second one was equal parts, but this one was definitely more.
Yes. So
Uh,
I don't really know why you would want to watch Ant-Man 3 if you haven't watched 1 and 2.
right?
So I'm gonna just leave y'all to do that. Y'all watch that. I'm not gonna go into the whole story about that. But
Mhm.
anyway, what happens in this movie with Ant-Man, Q Joe?
All right, let's get a brief synopsis. So I don't know how many years after they beat Thanos this is, but his life is going pretty well, so well that he's bored and he don't really got nothing else to do in life. Um, he wants a connection with his daughter because remember they lost 5 years together, and she's
Correct.
like a whole grown up adult now, and this is like
Correct.
that's really hurting him. Um, Apparently though, which is really good, is there's a big sense of family. Like Hank Pym and his wife, they like
Adopted her.
adopted her, and she's calling them grandpa and
Yeah,
grandma. I was
man.
like, this is so cute. This is so sweet.
Yes, very family
Yeah.
driven this movie is.
The her biological mom is nowhere to be seen. I assume
Yeah, I
is
guess they
she
just
is she dead?
totally said we don't have room for all this. We gotta set up Kang. So yeah, they blew right past that.
I was like, okay, all right, she got a new mom and she can fight. That's what's up. So, so um, what's Scott Lang's daughter's name? Before I continue,
Scott Lang's daughter,
yo, I'm just gonna say I'm trying to figure out her name, so I don't keep saying daughter.
Cassie.
Cassie. So Cassie and Hank Pym have been twiddling and tweaking as the little scientists that they are with ants, right? And so they made a whole ant civilization. Well, no, they set up an ant civilization. That was wild. Ant civilization, but that was like a cover. What they really been doing is making a device that can send out messages to the quantum realm.
Correct.
Now, as soon as Cassie says this, Hank Pym's wife starts to bug out a little bit.
Yes.
Like, what the
As
hell are
you
you
see in the
doing?
trailer, she's very disturbed about going back to the quantum realm.
hmm So she's like, nope, turn that shit off. What's going on? Everyone's arguing, obviously. Everyone's yelling back and forth. Scott's like, whoa, what's going on? Da 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 da. The Wasp is like, what? You should have told me, Mom. Why don't you ever talk about the quantum realm? Da 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 da. And while all this is going down, she tries to turn the device off, but the device says nah. And
It's too late.
it's too late. And so they get sucked into the quantum realm. I'm talking about way down. Way down. Past the atomic level, all the way down. You ain't making it out of that one.
So, how did
Mhm.
you feel about um the, the overall tone of the movie? Because a lot of the
Okay.
critics have said that they didn't like the tone and
So
that
so
it's
this
all over the
was
place. Yeah.
so this was the thing, right? One, it's a lie. It was not all over the place. Everything led to Kane, right? Like
Mm.
everything, every side story between the mom, Scott, and other the Micronauts. What is this group of people he was fighting with?
Did you say the Micronauts?
My bad. That's a wrong.
You
I'm mixing up.
making whole people up.
Whatever those small people was called, the Resistance. What was called the
Yes, let's just
Resistance,
call
right?
them that. The Resistance.
All those things was definitely leading towards a fight with King. So I didn't think it was all over the place at all. Actually,
Okay. I
um,
I I I saw. Yeah. I. Some people said it. Excuse me. Some people said that there were um things in this movie that just could have been cut. Like, there were scenes that just had no purpose at all. And I didn't see that.
yeah, I'll probably have to watch it again to see
I had a
if it
good
is.
time.
Yeah,
Is it a perfect movie? No, it is not a perfect movie. Some of the jokes, a lot of people also complained about the comedy, that some of the jokes just did not land at
but
all.
you know the funny thing about the jokes was there wasn't as many jokes as I thought there was gonna be. Like
Yeah,
it was nice.
and I laughed
Yeah,
at, for the most part. I would say about 70% of the jokes I laughed and
yeah,
had a good
yeah.
time.
It was an enjoyable. It was a moderately funny movie in general because the way they built Ant-Man to be this version of Ant-Man is he's a friendly guy, friendly. Everyone likes him.
And then I even heard that some people said that it wasn't even an Ant-Man movie in spirit. And I was like, what?
First of
After
all,
watching it, I'm like, that's a total lie.
what is the spirit of Ant-Man? That's one. And two, was there ever a spirit of Ant-Man for a movie? Like, let's just start there. What is the spirit of Ant-Man? They're just making things up.
Yeah, it was a lot of this movie had a lot of hate.
It was, but you know
A
what? I was
lot
looking at
of hate.
reviews.
And
So
some people
apparently,
just
yeah,
did
go ahead.
not like this film
Yeah,
as
but
much
see,
as they wanted to. Now we're gonna get to the big
yeah, okay.
things. I
Mhm,
know y'all want us to talk about Kane.
mhm,
Now we do see in the trailer, this is not a spoiler, Modoc is in the movie. How
yes.
did you feel about Modoc?
I I was cackling, bro, because in my head, even since I was a kid, right? Modoc was the weirdest looking thing ever. He's literally a head with all of his limbs small.
Right.
So that being said, I was like, there's no way that they're gonna make this man come to life and this shit not look funny. Like he's gonna look hilarious, bro. That was the most hilarious.
And people were talking about how he looked in the CG. I was like, it was not bad, bro.
It wasn't. It wasn't. They just stretched his face out over the
Now
head because
in the
that's what it
trailer,
was.
it looked bad
It looked bad in the trailer.
because
I was
that
like,
was not
"Whoa."
finished.
Bro, when I saw the trailer, I was just like, "No
Bro, the
way."
effects were not finished in that trailer. So
Yeah.
I can understand how people be like, ooh, that shit's horrible.
And you
Correct.
know the cool
That's
thing
some
about
old
him?
Spy Kid
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah. And I was like, this he was a perfect portrayal of Modoc. Modoc is never the main guy. He's always second fiddle to the main villain, whether it be the Mandarin, whether it be I don't know. Any
Whoever.
whoever he's working with, he's always
He's not the main guy.
the
Now,
main piece.
in Modoc's defense, I will say the Avengers game, even though that game
Mhm.
was completely trash after the campaign ended,
Mhm.
that the way they handled Modoc in that game was nice.
Mm.
Modoc
Okay.
was a serious threat,
Mm.
and you felt that. Like that's how the MCU should have,
Yeah, because
portrayed
it's
Modoc.
it's his mind that's the threat more
Yeah,
than yeah, we know he's a being made for killing, but like he ain't killing anybody over a certain level. Let's just put it out there. So
yeah, he's not. Yeah,
yeah,
he's not. Our titular villain, Kang. Now everybody has. No one has said that Kang was bad.
no, they better not because as soon
Nobody has critiqued Kang, saying that
and
his performance was bad.
and
Jonathan
that's the
Majors.
crazy part though
Yeah,
because not how can you not like this is for the critics not for the audience because there's a very big disparity bro, there's like a 40% difference between the people that watched it, the regular people, and critics. I'm talking about a huge gap.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, are we hating Marvel just to hate Marvel, or are we
Mm,
really taking the movie for what it is? Like I remember I saw
right.
one review. It's like, if you're watching this and it doesn't do anything really to help you with the backstory, I was like, bro, by this point, you should have been watching all the stuff before. And on top of that, you wouldn't be saying this if you went to go see Harry Potter 5 without seeing all the
Right.
Harry Potters. You wouldn't be like, oh, it doesn't really help with the da da da.
It's not
No,
supposed to.
it's not
You were
supposed
supposed to
to.
watch the previous ones.
Exactly. So like that was a null and void point. Because
Yeah.
even though we don't say this is a universe, but all of these are sequels. They build on top of each other. Everything is built on top of each other.
I
Mhm.
love the way that they built this relationship between Kang and Janet.
Yeah.
That
Ooh,
was
that was
very, very creative. I
nice.
had no idea we would get that much of a relationship between the
And
two.
that was a side story that I really enjoyed watching.
Yeah,
Like that
now
whole
that
thing.
was
I
very
really
good.
enjoyed it.
That
Yeah.
was very good because I didn't think. I mean, this guy really was menacing, but you could also feel that he had a heart.
Yeah, he was a human. He's a human
He
being.
was a human, and he was very much for what it looked. He was going to honor. Well, I'm not going
The
to get into
deal.
that. We'll talk
Oh
about
yeah, yeah. Okay.
spoilers
Yeah, yeah. Gotcha.
after the
Mhm.
initial review,
Gotcha.
but he seemed to me a genuine man of his word and
Mhm.
intent on doing right by certain people in the
Mhm.
story. And I really enjoyed his performance. I mean, man, dude, he was a serious threat with his technology.
Man,
He
his
had some serious
first of all, he had
power.
technology that I didn't even know what he was actually doing at the moment. Like,
Yeah,
is this like telekinesis? I couldn't figure out what he was doing. He was just
yeah,
doing stuff. But remember, they
yeah,
said his tech is way beyond
yeah.
anything you can
And we
imagine.
find out that his tech is linked to his mind is neurokinetic. Hello.
Yeah, can you hear me? Yeah.
Yeah, you froze for a
Mhm.
second.
All right.
So his tech is neurokinetic, meaning it is tied to his mind. So whatever he
Mhm.
thinks, his armor will do.
Yep.
And yeah, he there's a scene in the movie where he is threatening to hurt somebody. Let's just put it that way.
Mm.
And
He's
you
doing it
feel
Darth Vader style.
yeah, you definitely feel the threat level. And he's not joking. He was very much
Mhm.
like, yeah, I'm going to do this if you don't do what I do. Like, I'm not joking with you.
Mhm.
Um,
He's a man of his
okay,
word.
so we established Kang as a huge threat for this phase of
Yes,
Marvel,
and an amazing villain.
and he is a
Amazing
good
villain.
villain. Now,
Mhm.
with all of the multiversal things, I know this is not our last go with Kang. He's gonna be
Mhm.
fleshed out over multiple shows and
Mhm.
movies. So I'm glad to see this version of Kang. I really, really enjoyed.
Mhm.
Um, Now, what are we talk? Let's talk about the quantum world. Let's
Okay.
talk about the quantum realm. How did you feel about the quantum realm?
The quantum realm, it was funny because I went with like Khadija and YJ, like we went together, right? She was like, "This world is definitely giving me Star Wars world
Mm,
vibes." That's a
yeah,
bad thing because the quantum realm is its own dimension, pretty much.
right. And a lot of
But
people were saying that this is very much a Star Wars ripoff.
yeah, it definitely was given. Okay, y'all took some notes, especially like
Yeah,
the fungus area. I was like, "Oh, Flucia!" Like off the bat, I saw it. I was like,
yeah,
"Flucia," stuff like that.
yeah.
And also like even the ships and stuff like that. I was like, okay, but I did like it. It looked pretty. It looked interesting. The constituents, the people in the world were interesting. Even the way things work was interesting.
Now,
So
some people said that they found it to be. I mean, I can't. I'm like, what the hell, guys? They're like, it's a little too CGI heavy. Like, I feel like they were just in front of a screen the whole time, and they weren't using a lot of practical landscapes and all this. I'm just like, God damn, guys.
Do you
It's the
know?
quantum
Yeah,
realm.
do you know what the quantum realm is? A dimension that is so different from ours. There's not anything around that looks like it. Everything in our world was different in our world. Everything was different.
Yeah, I
Nothing was the
mean,
same.
it
You
was
know?
just, I guys, for my experience, guys, don't listen to the critics.
Absolutely not.
Make your own opinions about how you feel in the movie.
Hmm.
Even some of the ones that I usually watch, they did not like this movie, and
Mm.
I was just blown away when I saw it. I'm like, I did not have this experience y'all had at all.
Hmm.
One even went as far as to say the MCU has lost its magic, and I'm
You
like,
see, but that's the consensus that's kept coming. Like, they keep saying it over and over. They were saying it last. I didn't see the reviews for Wakanda Forever. I usually don't watch the reviews.
right,
But even then they like just like, oh, it's giving like a little bit more, like, what's the word? Not but like a little bit more substance. I'm like, yo,
yeah.
look, guys.
People were happy of Wakanda Forever's
But I was
ending of
like,
that
if
phase.
I was like, if you want a movie that's like so in depth, because for some reason everybody's about depth now. You know what I mean? Everybody's about like, oh, this is a Oscar winner. Like, oh, we're watching John Q. We all John Q movie watchers now. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like some watches it. It's a comic book movie. Watch the story. Read the story. Watch the story. Enjoy the story. And let it be. Like, there's no reason, unless there's like actual legit problems with the story. Okay, if there's problems with the acting, okay, but since there's no problems with the story or the acting, like,
Now,
I
now
don't get
we
it.
got two characters. Now, I will say this: there are two actors in the movie that I feel like
Shouldn't have been there.
shouldn't have been there. One was Dan Aykroyd. His
Dan Aykroyd.
character wasn't
He
really necessary.
Who is he?
He was the guy that the resistance guy that Janet knew back in the
Oh,
day.
that Janet knew.
Yeah, remember?
Oh, you
Yeah,
talk about Bill Murray.
right. Bill Murray. Oh
Okay,
Lord, I said Dan Aykroyd. Help me,
so that's
God.
all I was.
My God, my bad. Sorry, I got the wrong Ghostbuster. Sorry.
His character was really there to just be a traitor, so I get it.
Yeah. So
Um,
oh that.
because she
Oh,
was like, "I got
spoilers,
friends."
spoilers. We want to keep away from
Oh,
spoilers.
shit! My bad, my bad, my bad. So this
Yeah.
was okay.
We'll get to that in a second.
Yeah, yeah.
So what else I wanted to talk about? How did you feel about Cassie, his daughter?
Okay, I could in the beginning of the movie. Okay, from the beginning from the way the trailer was looking, I was like, I'm not gonna like this girl. But when I found out why she got arrested, I was like, you know what?
That makes sense.
It makes sense. Like, she's
That
not just
makes
out
sense.
there being an ass. She's out there trying to make a difference. She's out there trying to
Exactly.
be a hero like her
Exactly.
daddy.
And
So
I like that
yeah.
aspect.
So I enjoyed that part. Um, of course, she hasn't learned how to use the powers and anything of that sort. I also think that she was a little too gun ho for justice. Like, calm down, let's think about it. But at the same time, she needed to be that for her father to become what he needed to be. So,
Exactly.
so that was I actually liked her character. Out of most of the young people in the MCU, I like her the most.
Yeah,
Besides Spider-Man, of course, but
of course.
know.
Good. Yeah, I liked her character. I feel like she
Mhm.
definitely has room for more growth and more
Mhm.
maturity as the MCU continues to grow and expand.
Mhm.
So yeah, I think she was cool.
Yeah.
What was I about to say? Okay, so let's go into our
The
final
spoiler portion.
score for this
Oh, final score. Okay.
for this movie. Sorry, I'm drawing a blank here.
Mhm.
So we do it out of 5 chops. What would you rate this movie?
I'll give it 4.5 chops.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. So Kyujo
Mhm.
liked it a
I
lot
like
more than not a lot more, but a little bit more than I did.
mm,
I'm gonna give this movie 3.5 out of
okay.
3.5 out of 5 chops. I
Mhm.
liked it. It's a good movie. Um, Probably gonna see it maybe one more time when it
Yeah.
goes to Disney Plus, and then I think you'll be tossed into
Out
the
of
ether.
out of my system. Out of my system. We can move on.
Yeah. So, guys, we're gonna talk about some spoilers now. You've been warned. This is the spoiler
Flash
section.
warning.
This is the spoiler section. How do we feel about the battles in this movie, as far as particularly the end fight between Kang and
Well,
between Kang,
and
yeah,
Kang and the crew. Not
yes,
Kang. We'll do Kang and the crew fight first. So,
yes,
I'm gonna tell you this, right? I had to remember that this was an Ant-Man movie, so Ant-Man had to get a win. Well, since say that, I'm not, so he had to get a win. Kang, the entire movie was showing that he was superior to everyone in every way. There was no way he was beaten. There was no logical way to beat him. There was also no illogical way to beat him. Like, for instance, old boy was talking about. I remember that scene. He was like, I've killed many Avengers. Which one was you? Like, he's like, you the one with the hammer? He's like did like nothing to him. You know what I mean?
right.
So I was happy with the fight up to a certain point. So when this is also props to Ant-Man for showing his versatility with his skills, like going big and small. Like, I was like, that was smooth. It's just, the man is in an invincible suit with invincible mind.
I feel like it worked because they were in the quantum realm.
What, his powers?
Yes, because he was in the quantum realm, he was more of a threat because they're in the smallest.
Right. So
they're
him
in
getting
the smallest
large.
realm. So his power to get big is making him match, anything that Kang can throw at him.
Yeah, and even then Kang was mollywopping him.
Exactly.
But I did like the three people team up they did on him. That was some cool stuff. Yeah. I liked how he went small, then got big and smashed and went small again. I was like, okay, you got fastest in Civil War. I like that.
And
of
then
course,
he smacked both of them, remember?
He did pop.
Right. Like, he didn't even, and then remember when Janet went small and then he brought her down.
I was like, man.
He was like, that's just not gonna work. You get back
he
here.
He was probably like, you know what? Y'all had your fun. I let y'all get your licks in. All right, now my turn. Yeah. Now, saying that, and as much as I like that, and the thing I said before that this is an Ant-Man movie, Ant-Man has to get a win. It didn't make any sense that the ants were able to beat him. I'm sorry. I don't even know how they got past the shield. I don't care if there was 1,000, 1,000,000,000 ants. I don't care. I don't care what. There's no you can't physically push through his shields. Like, it just. And of course they had MODOK sacrifice himself. That was also some BS.
Yeah, I didn't like MODOK's arc of him just. For those
switching
that don't
sides.
know, MODOK is Darren Cross from the first Ant-Man movie.
Darren?
Yeah.
No, every time they say his name, I was laughing.
I found it very hilarious. It was very hilarious.
Every time he popped up his face, it was like, Darren?
Yeah, it was very hilarious. I didn't mind Darren Cross being MODOK, especially when
I didn't mind.
It was very funny. However, this whole him switching up at the end after Cassie has this talk with him.
Right, it was like, bruh.
He just switches up for no reason. Like, there's no
reason.
Yeah, I'm like, he's hunting her the whole movie, and then he just decides, I'm gonna try to be good now.
He's like, I'm not gonna be an asshole anymore. Really, bro?
Yeah, I'm not gonna be a dick. He says, I'm not a dick.
If that was the case, we would have had Cassie talk to Thanos, and it would have been over. It would have been no fight.
Yeah, it just it was. I at that point I was like, okay, that was kind of.
That's why I was like,
that was really cheap. That was
they gave Ant-Man a Mary Sue. Him and the ants were Mary Sue to beat Kang. Because there was no way they was beating him. No way.
Yeah.
Even with the two type civilization ants, what they gonna do? What? They didn't have any tech to get through the shield. They were just running their bodies over it. I was just like,
basically. I mean, they had weapons.
They did have weapons, but was it enough to beat the 30th century? Absolutely not.
I mean, In this movie they couldn't have him be the most powerful Kang.
Yeah, I figured that out, and I also knew that this is an introduction. So that means he
Yeah, they
can't
can't
win
have
here.
him be the most
He
because
can't.
there's no
Yeah,
way that Ant-Man would have won.
yeah, he can't win here. He
They
can't.
just had him.
Yeah,
They just had the ants with this
yeah.
MacGuffin. This was a MacGuffin.
MacGuffin. They remember MacGuffin. Yeah, that's what I meant to
Yeah,
say.
this MacGuffin of these highly advanced ants that saved the day. I was like, okay, this is an army of ants that we did not see
Mm-hmm.
coming.
The Nazi coming. I was just like, really? But
Yeah,
that was like my only gripe with the final fight. And then the final fight, the hand-to-hand fight, which I
yeah,
love that.
he destroyed.
Bro, it
Yeah,
shows that like, this man is not only the smartest man in the universe, he's also a warrior.
yeah, he can whoop your ass.
He's a conqueror through and through.
Yeah,
My
he
man
can
was
whoop your
like,
ass.
all right, pow,
He was giving Ant-Man the Adonis Creed
yo,
hands.
the business. I'm talking about he was switching around him, switching stances. I was like, bro, Ant
Yeah,
Man,
he
you should have,
broke
you
his
should have,
helmet.
you should
Now
have
that
trained
was
with
I feel
Cap.
like that part in the trailer should not have been shown.
Yeah, they should have shown that because
When
we
they
saw
showed
that
his armor
stomping
off and
scene.
them fighting and that
Yeah,
end part, that was way too much for a trailer.
yeah, because that's the end. That's the end of the
Yeah,
movie. Well, pretty much the end of the struggle.
that should not have been shown. And a
Yeah,
lot of people, another complaint they had was that there were no consequences
for him, for who?
for any of the good people. There was no stakes
Well, I mean, if you really think about it,
because
there's
I
not
thought
really
they were going
any.
to be
There's not.
trapped in the quantum realm again.
Yeah, I thought that too. But like for most MCU movies, there's no consequences for most of them. They get to go home and be happy. It's only one movie usually that really just f's everything up. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, so it's like I didn't mind that didn't have consequences because like even in comic book stories, sometimes the heroes win all the way through. They didn't lose not one person. No one's
right.
dead. All their family members are alive. They won that day.
I feel
You
like
know?
Kang should have killed some more people though.
Yeah, I thought
I didn't
Kang
like
would
the
have. Yeah,
resistance fighter woman. I thought she was annoying.
she was useless, bro.
I didn't
No,
like her.
besides her being a leader, which is important
She
in
had
terms of
no
like the final
personality.
fight. Yeah, besides she was like a tough girl.
I
You know,
mean,
she was
but it's
rough and
just
tough.
like no
You know,
personality. She's just like,
I
I
just
don't
wish
know. I
that
just feel like he could have killed her at least. That was another
no,
thing.
no,
Kang
no.
took way too. He
The
took
part
way
when
too
he
many
was kicking him
prisoners.
out his house, I died. That was I love that scene. He was like, you know what? I'll do it myself. Went outside, started zapping people. They was
Yeah,
running
because
all
he
over the
was like,
place.
I'm tired of this shit. And I feel like he took way too many prisoners.
He did. There was so many people in jail.
I
What
was
was going
like, why are you taking all these prisoners?
for what?
Like
You know?
he doesn't need them for any tactical reason. There's no
Yeah,
reason why he takes these prisoners except for what's her name? Cassie and Scott. That was
yeah,
it.
yeah. Because they was
There was
important.
no
He
other
needed them.
reason to keep
Yeah.
those other prisoners.
Hmm. I mean,
Like,
of course, it could also be the same thing as like, you know what? Maybe he's not like a monster. He doesn't just if he beats you and he sees no reason to kill you, he won't kill you. Like if you're not a threat, you're not a threat.
I mean, but he could have killed
Um,
the rebel leader because she's the leader of the resistance.
the same reason why, like he left Ant-Man and Janet in the desert together. Like he said, I could have killed you right then and there, but
Right,
whatever. I won, so I'm gonna leave. You
right.
know, something
So,
that something that
all
like
right.
I know a lot of the big bads guys, like the ones that have like higher purposes, they be leaving these heroes alive, bro. It's not
Yeah,
good.
I'm telling
It's
you.
not good.
And that ended up being his own destruction
His
again.
own destruction again. But another question: do you think he's dead, or you think he went to this version of him? Do you think this version of him is really gone?
I don't know. I think that we're gonna have so many Kangs to deal with in the future
Mm,
that this one could have died, and I would be fine with that. Because yeah,
true, that's fine. But I was just
this
saying, I was like, yo, look, you ain't dead unless you see the body.
that's true.
And
And in the
look at Modoc. Look at Modoc.
right,
That
exactly, exactly. So I feel
yeah.
like
Well,
we may see him again,
okay.
but as you can see in the post-credit scene, there are 2 post-credit scenes.
Mm-hmm.
And what do we see in the first post-credit scene?
The first post-credit scene is a scene that I did not think I would see so soon.
No.
I did. I was not expecting to see that. I was like, whoa, 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 guys. I wasn't ready. I was waiting for something else. I was waiting for the
Bruh.
Loki scene. The Loki scene. Now I was like, that's it. Man, you get to see the Council of Kings. No, the Legion of Kings at this point,
Yes.
because it wasn't just a couple of them. Nah, it was
Thousands.
thousands. And
And
it
what
was
did
like,
we see
yeah.
before them? We saw
Before,
the 3 kings.
oh yes, we saw the 3 major kings that are important in the story. Now, I'm confused about one of them. I don't think he is who I think he is. I think he's another version. But
One of them is
the one that looks,
Immortus.
yeah, Immortus. We know him.
The other one is
Yeah.
Scarlet Centurion.
That's okay. I was getting missed. I thought
That's
that
who
was
the
Iron
silver
Lad.
one is.
Okay, I thought that was Iron Lad, but
And
okay, that
then,
wasn't
no,
Iron Lad.
hell no. Iron Lad would
All
be
right.
younger. And he
Okay.
wouldn't be on their side. Iron Lad is
Right.
good.
Okay. Right.
And then
Okay.
we had the last one, which was Ramatut.
Ramatut, which is 3 prominent kings.
Yes.
One of them, the Immortus, he's kind of an observer. He usually doesn't do much.
No. He's
But
he's the leader of all the kings.
yeah.
All the
Yeah.
kings.
Mm-hmm.
And they are ruling over the multiverse. And they say that they are beginning the Avengers to
A
touch the
beginning
multiverse.
to touch everything that they built. Here you
Yeah.
go with the Avengers again, messing
And
with
so
people.
now,
This is the same thing that happened in Avengers 1. They was
right,
like, oh, you can fight.
right. Now
Ooh.
they're like, okay, we got to stop you all from continuing to destroy what we have built.
Now, the one thing that is interesting is like one thing I knew in the movie, this is talking about the lore of the movie, is that King the Conqueror never lied. Everything that he said in the movie was the truth. He did say that his constituents were messing up timelines. They were creating imbalance and they were making incursions.
Correct.
So he's saying that what he is doing is making sure incursions don't happen. Now we know about incursions from the comics. Well, I'm not gonna go into that. But pretty much an incursion is a very, very bad thing. That's all you need to know for now. Right?
It was explained very quickly and
Very
fantastic.
quickly. Very quickly. And now if we connect this to the one who's at the end with Loki,
Victor
he also
Timely.
Victor, so that one was one that separated 616, I believe, from his constituents. So he doesn't even know what's going on with the rest of the multiverse at this point. He's just focusing on the ring. Now, another interesting point that Kang said was when she asked what's at the end, and he was just like, me. Now, what version of me does he mean? Or is it a me that he wants to prevent? Or is it a me that he doesn't want to become? These are all things that, we should see in the future.
I
Because
feel
he's
like
saying he's the threat. Well, Kang is the threat.
I feel like we need to know why these Kangs are such a threat to the multiverse.
True. And
Because
why
they're not really doing anything.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah,
that,
The council's not doing nothing. The council of Kings
yeah,
are
and this whole the threat of incursions, it kind of rings hollow when you see that they have some sort of structure to the multiverse.
right.
So
Now
it's
what
not
he's
like
saying now this is the problem with Kang. Kang is like Doom. He believes he's right and he believes his way is the only way. I can obviously see one of the Kangs being like, this system is a bad system. We need to
yeah.
cut it out and do something else. Of course, a lot of them are like, nah, we like the system that we got. And that's
And I
that. And
wonder
of
how are
course,
they getting these other Kangs to submit to them?
that's the problem. I was like, it's like there's not a council of dooms. There's never, there's a,
Like,
but I don't
I'm
I
like,
don't
you
think
got
it's
a whole bunch
about
of Kangs,
yeah.
but I'm like, how are these Kangs like in agreement with
In agreement. Think about each
Yeah,
one of
and
them
there are thousands
is
of
the
them.
smartest. Yeah, each one of them is the smartest being of their universe and all universes. So if that's the case, for them all to agree that this is the right way to do things is wild.
Yeah,
Like, like what?
because it
Like,
doesn't
okay.
seem like because remember the multiversal war, it was just utter chaos. Everybody was fighting
Yeah,
for their own.
right. Yeah. So all the kings are fighting each other pretty
So now
much.
it seems like there's not going to be a
There's no fight.
multiversal war
Yeah, it doesn't look like the multiversal war no
because
more.
it's like they're
Um,
all working together.
yeah. What I do see though is it wouldn't be a fight with the kings. It'll be a fight of between the people that live in the timelines of those realms that they hold.
Hmm.
Because if, for instance, every universe sees the main universe, the MCU universe, as a threat to the stability of the multiverse, I can see that being an issue. I don't really see I can see the Kings getting another version of Avengers to fight our Avengers, something like that.
I feel like I feel
Yeah.
like I feel like Kang is such a high concept villain. They're gonna have
He's too high. He's
they're
too
gonna
high,
have to give him something that's gonna humble him down
or even
so that
anchor
so that
him to
so that
something solid.
moviegoers
Yeah,
can connect with him. See, Thanos,
yeah,
you connected with what he was trying to do because of what he
yeah,
went through
yeah,
and his upbringing.
yeah,
So you could connect on some level to what he believed in. You
yeah.
don't even know what the hell this Kang believes in.
Right, and whenever you try to figure out, Kang is like, "Don't worry about it. I know best." Like,
Yeah, it's like, what are you trying? What is Kang trying to accomplish here?
and it's scary because it seems like the Council of the Kings are content. They're content with whatever's going on. One is not content, and whoever talking about the other cutscene, whatever version of Kang is now running the TVA
Right.
is whatever he wants. We don't even know. We don't
We
even know.
don't know what he wants either. Yeah. So now you
Yeah.
have another version of Kang running the TVA, and then you have another Victor Timely version of Kang. So now
Yep.
it's going to be, this is a lot of Kang, man.
It's a lot of Kang. It's the
A
world of
lot of
Kang.
Kang to keep up with, and we don't have a real gravitas to the character.
But I like it though to an extent because it keeps the mystery going. If he's going to be someone that we're going to be seeing for like 2 to 3 phases into building as something like really bad, even though I don't think the MCU is going in the direction of having one big bad anymore, which is a good idea. You don't need one big bad doesn't need to be there no more.
Right.
Um, but if we're going to this version, like there needs to be some mystery because there was a mystery for Thanos for 3 whole phases.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, for people that didn't read the comics, of course. But
Right.
the 3 whole phases, if you're watching the movies, you really don't know what he's planning. He just pops up at the end of movies and
Right.
stuff like that. So I think they're trying to keep Kang in a little bit of mystery and shroudedness. I think the most that we're gonna get going in these movies that are not like gonna be the end of him is going to be like personally knowing about his life and his struggles. Because obviously we got to know a lot about this King, about what he went through, fighting, all that stuff, what he believed in, but it didn't give you a sense to like what he really
Like
wanted.
the idea of the
Yeah.
TVA was good.
It was amazing, but that's only one version of Kang made the TVA. Unless there's other versions of TVAs, but that
Yeah.
wouldn't make sense since they exist outside of all timelines. So there can only be one TVA.
Yeah. It's gonna be
So
interesting to see this unfold, man. So
yeah, that's
that's
gonna be
it,
fun.
guys. That is it for our spoiler talk on
Hmm.
Ant-Man 3 Quantumania. We will see you guys on the next Pop and Chop show. Take care.
All right.